Hi, guys. Welcome to Bible Breakdown. We're doing Psalms chapter 86. The psalm is titled Lament and Petition, a Prayer of David. So, for this chapter, I have three different points to point out. Just to get started, for verses 1 to 7, I wrote that David is calling out to God in a time of need because he knows the Lord is the only one that can pull him through. He doesn't only request from God, but he also makes it a point to point out his character in the process. So I point that out because I feel like sometimes Christians or believers of God have a habit of just like pouring out what you want from God and then leaving it at that instead of like giving him the glory in the midst of your season. So in verse 5, although in verses 1 through 4, he's like, God, I'm calling out to you. Please listen to my cry. In verse 5, he says, For you, Lord, are kind and ready to forgive, abounding in faithful love to all who call out to you. I actually misread that and it says, abounding in faithful love to all who call on you. So there's really no problem like putting a request onto God, but I feel like it's also good to just acknowledge who God is, what he's able to do, what he's been doing, and not using him as a genie. Then to continue for verses 8 to 13, I wrote that there is no one that compares to God. He is above all and deserves all the praise he receives. Also, because he's so amazing, we should use him as a role model to learn from. So to my first point, verse 8 stands out and it says, Lord, there is no one like you among the gods, and there are no works like you. So literally nobody compares to the Lord. And then to my second point, it says in verse 11, teach me your ways, Lord, and I will live by your truth. Give me an undivided mind to fear your name. Then to end the chapter for verses 14 to 17, I wrote that when God is in your life, your enemies have nothing over you. So in verse 15, it says, but you, Lord, are compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in faithful love and truth. I point out that verse specifically because before that verse, David is talking about how people want to attack him, but then he points out like the characteristics of God that will help pull him through. And that is the end of chapter 86. I will post chapter 87 right after this. So I love y'all. God loves y'all more. Have a great day.